Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dergboi podcast, where we talk about a variety of interesting topics. I am your host, Rugged, the lovable, huggable dragon, and we're here on episode number 11, which is going to feature one of my friends, KatoEasternDragon, where we talk about different types of topics. We did the recording first, and it's probably the first thing I've ever done with another person, right? I've always had these topics solo, right? But it's the first time I've actually got to interview somebody, talk to them about different things. So we kind of did ramble quite a bit during this episode, but we basically talked about different topics like introducing who Kato actually was, how he got into the furry fandom. We talked about various other topics like Australia fires, because he's from Australia, by the way. So we ranted about that for a while. We also talked about like some of our favorite games and like other things. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. And as always, if you ever want to be part of the future episodes as a guest speaker on voice chat, just let me know. Go on Twitter, go on RuggedTheDragon, and you can also go on my Discord server and you can PM me directly, slide into my PMs in a way. If you want to talk about different types of stuff, like, basically go in, ask me, hey, I want to do an interview with you. I'm like, okay, sure. What topics do you want to talk about? Like, you can name, we can have one big topic. We can have multiple topics, right? So a good idea for future podcasts would be to have like a cheat sheet, right? Think about what you want to say, kind of practice your answer, and kind of be like down to the point, right? Because it keeps everything interesting when we don't ramble on for so much. We kind of made that mistake during this podcast. I'm not blaming Kato. He's a good guy. It's just like we never did this before. So we're kind of testing the waters in a way. So without further ado, let's get into the recording. We are going to be talking about, like I said, a variety of topics. And all the links are going to be in the description regarding my links, as well as Kato the Eastern Dragon's Twitch stream, as well as his Fur Affinity page. So if you ever want to check it out, go right to the description. So anyway, let's start off with the recording. All right, we are here today with the Random Topic Day Part 2. So we've got a special guest today. So your name is KatoEasternDragon, or you prefer to be called Kato, right?
Kato's fine.
Kato?
And we are joined today with your lovely self, Rugged, the pizza-eating dragon as well.
I love pizza. I'm all right. I love pizza. I want a pizza.
You should come to Australia, personally speaking. I heard that the pizzas they're big in the America, but they're much more tastier in Australia. That's a controversial opinion, but I'm going to stick by that.
Yeah, I heard Italians also don't like our pizza either. I don't know, though. I heard Italian pizzas are more sweet. I'm not quite sure exactly, but it'd be nice to...
they are the inventors of the pineapple on the pizza. But then again, I'm not sure why a lot of Americans do not like pineapple on pizza.
I've tried it. It's not bad, really. You don't really taste that much of the pineapple. I think the sauce and cheese overtake the pineapple itself. I've had a pineapple / black olive pizza before. I've made it myself. I could show you a picture of it one day, but basically, the reason why I made it was because of the movie Deadpool. I don't know if you heard that. Ryan Reynolds?
No, not at all. Definitely not. Just kidding, I do.
Because no, the thing is with that movie was that he had a pineapple black olives pizza, aka the sweet and salty. I tried, so I created it, and I think I overdid the toppings quite a bit, but it didn't taste that bad though. I have a picture of it though. I posted online. Everyone's like, ew.
Yeah. Nah. Okay. I think personally, this is just my from the top of my head type of analysis is that probably pineapples aren't that great in America or something like that, and when they get cooked in an oven that's always on 24/7, I think you need to cook it correctly, pineapple on pizza. Otherwise, it just doesn't it doesn't bring out the best out of a pineapple.
Yeah, some people thought when they saw the picture, they're like, oh, it doesn't look like it's cooked all the way on top of the cheese and everything. I'm like, yeah, well, lessons learned, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't leave it in long enough, because no offense, Americans are all about, I paid for my pizza. It's supposed to be here in 13 minutes. And then, say it's a busy night, of course pineapple on pizza is going to taste like shit. Excuse me. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Well, like I said, we'll bleep it out if we can.
Bleep. But no, you know what really goes well with pineapple though, in general, is pork. Sorry, but vegan.
Like bacon.
Bacon, yeah. Like you would, when the Canadians invented the maple syrup, and then they put it onto crispy or semi-flesh bacon.
God, stop it.
Wait, is it bad? Is it bad or is it tasty?
No, it's tasty. I'm thinking about like dipping bacon in maple syrup. Oh, stop.
I didn't discover that until I was like 20 years of age. Like I just went randomly with my parents. I don't
dip my bacon in maple syrup. I more like put the maple syrup on top of it, but sometimes.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We got off the track here. We're trying. I'm trying to do something else, but we started talking about pizza. And now we're just going on about pizza. But anyway, I was trying to before this interview even started. I was going to ask you. Okay, so your name is Kato the Eastern Dragon. So tell me about yourself. Yes. Like how old you are, what country you're from, what are your hobbies. Right. So let's start.
Well, hi. I'm KatoEasternDragon. I come from the land down under, and trust me, I will not eat your babies like a dingo eats a baby. Okay.
Oh God, like Bart Simpson's. Like, hey, I think I hear a dingo eating a baby. Jeez,
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Oh, I love that episode. If you watch that, please, have you seen that episode yet of The Simpsons, where Bart went to Australia to apologize for a giant phone bill?
Okay, about 90% of it is true. The 10% is the we do not drink Foster like we did in the very old days, but when that episode was aired, we haven't been drinking Fosters for like 10 years prior to that episode. So
is it in a giant can like they advertised, or like Homer wanted it?
We do. Like, okay, I know we're going off topic again, but apparently Foster's as a beer is mainly served on taps in the United Kingdoms.
Okay.
I don't. There's this thing where certain brews or certain ingredients actually work better overseas. Like the water definitely affects alcohol or alcohol-like substances a lot. So we have like Tooheys New, Carlton. Oh, we do have Corona as well. The beer,
not the beer. Yeah, I was gonna say not the virus, right? See, you're the expert on alcohol. I haven't drank alcohol in since the Marine Corps. I tried it, wasn't my thing. So
it's not your thing, mate. Like I'm not a heavy drinker either myself. Like I know an Aussie that doesn't drink that much. Oh my gosh, blasphemous! Nah. some people just don't drink, and my alcohol is the computer life. I love computer games and I love streaming, and I love just meeting friends. And Rugged, thanks again for inviting me over. It's
you
nice to be in your den,
Yeah, you freaking nerd. Freaking computer games. Who plays those things anyway?
Jeez, yeah, right. This is why we're gym junkies and eat pizza.
So I hear you're also part of that cringy furry community. So tell me about your character.
Excuse me, that's sex. That's speciesism right there. I'm a dragon. I'm a scaly, not a furry. Please get your analogies right.
Okay, furry, whatever. Freaking furry. Anyway, so his name is Kato, right? I'm guessing. I assume.
You assume?
I don't know. Is that your name? Is that your character's name, Kato, or is that just like a nickname?
Do I need a name tag on my chest plate saying hello? My name is Kato.
And you're you're an Eastern Dragon, so I'm guessing you're from the East.
Oh, Eastern Dragon from the lands down under.
And I've seen your character before. It's pretty interesting design. You got like lots of hair on your character's head and blue body. I noticed that your character is also like male and female. Which one do you actually prefer?
Oh, they're both one and the same. They're just like. You know how when you always go onto the internet, and then there's Rule 63, which I won't dive in.
Of course,
there's always Rule 63 of the internet. There's always an opposite gender.
Tell us more. I was kidding. No,
not really.
One episode, maybe I'll do that. I'll do like an explicit episode where I talk about everything sexual. Oh, but yeah, I don't want to go too far into this episode now.
Yeah, but so pretty much there is a male version of myself and female, but I'm comfortably identify as male, and I'm straight, maybe a bit bi leaning,
Yeah.
If I see something I like, I like it.
Okay.
That's the end of that,
Yeah, because I should always do this before interviews. I have to ask people what you identify as. I know this is controversial, but I'm not a big fan of the whole pronouns. Like, I'm a he/him. It's like, no, I'm a guy or girl, but I'm a guy. So you're a guy.
No, fair enough. No.
But I know some people some people prefer to be identified as such. So I ask them. I should probably start getting used to asking them what your pronouns would be, which I identify you as. Because
it's smart. Yeah. Definitely smart to cover your bases. That's for sure. Like, it's always good.
So, what got you into the furry fandom? Like, what year? What got you into it, and like all that stuff? What got you to design your own character and all that?
So, growing up as a kid, I wouldn't say I had a tough childhood, but I never really developed much social norms anyway to begin with, because I was always the tallest in my class. I like, by the grade 7 standards, like in Australia, we don't have middle school. We have primary school, which range from like preschool, kindergarten, and depending what year you're born, you either repeat one of two of the fellow years. But so from grades 1 to 7, that's considered as primary school. And then from years 8 or 9, depending which state you live in, again. But yeah, from 8 to 12, it's considered as high school. So most of my life, I just haven't really developed much social skills.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So when I was just online, I played I think it started as like playing RuneScape.
I never played that.
Yeah, old school RuneScape, 2008.
I can't remember what my online game was. I think one of my first online social games was Phantasy Star Online for the GameCube. Oh my god, that's such a long time ago. I never played WoW or PC games that much.
Sorry. Yeah. I just want to make sure to save you on editing and brain power and whatnot. Just so that we don't get too off topic.
I know. It's okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed my old school RuneScape stuff. I enjoyed that sociable interaction with my cousin and I on there. That was, I wouldn't say that was the start of the furry stuff, but it was more like the introduction to online socials, like media stuff, like mini clips and whatnot. So just getting to share a common interest. And then...
Well, RuneScape has dragons anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. Green dragons. But yeah, like RuneScape was the introduction to the online arena, or like online stuff. But still, my real life friends or social skills were just very lackluster. It was just it was very poor. So when I when you're a teenager between the ages of 16, 17, hormones, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, naturally you go, well, okay, what is PORN? And I'm like, well...
Wait, you didn't discover porn until you were like 16 or 17?
Closer to the end of 17, really.
I think I was an earlier bloomer. Like, I remember...
I think a lot of people identify as that because of the access of the internet. But for me, I was a nice, wholesome Christian dragon. And
bullshit. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No. I actually, to be honest, I didn't know what masturbation was until I was the age of 17. We can always edit that part out. Don't worry.
I know. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I remember when the first time I seen, remember one time my brother was watching some movie, and I was like, he didn't know I was up, so I was kind of like peeking, and all of a sudden this girl turns around, and I'm like, what the heck are those? I think I'm interested. And then I'm serious. I'm like, whoa, I've never seen those before. So anyway, so What got you to design your character? What really like? I know it's RuneScape, but we're really like what?
Okay, so
when did you actually start designing your character?
So I think around the age of 16, maybe really early 17, I discovered I saw IMVU as a social platform, and being young and stupid, any free to play stuff, I was like, all right, let's see what it is. It's free to play. And I hopped on board and I realized, oh, what's this? What's this thing?
Ooh, what's this?
No, well, not ooh because in IMVU you have to have the adult pass. But yeah, I didn't. I was a good Christian dragon, so I restrained from buying the adult pass. Yada yada yada. Anyway, yeah. So when I saw people actively participating in activities and whatnot, I was like, wait, so there's no gameplay? We just type in what we're doing? And,
yeah.
Being us, of course we would go to the gym. I would always go to, role-playing gyms and work out thinking I'm hot. But I'm working out in bloody, in a shirt with a, what do you call those, leather jackets and long jeans and formal shoes, and I'm there on the treadmill jogging with sunglasses on indoors. I could not be any more of a jackass, even though I did not even notice what the fudge I was doing.
So, what was your first commission? What would you say? When did you get your first commission of your character?
So yeah, eventually when the role playing happened, so on AMVU when you shop, right? Shopping was kind of the first teaser for Kato, if that makes sense. So I, when I discovered furries, of course the first instinct was oh, you just anthropomorphic animals. Oh, they look pretty cool. What they're all about. And then when I started looking through them, IMVU has some great shopping options or easy customization. So I'm there just shopping around, putting some things together. And originally, Kato did not start it as a blue and orange dragon. It started as a character called Mr. J, and it was just a dark blue and blue wolf, really, with jeans. That's how I started in the furry community. Absolutely start. And it was wholesome. Wholesome. Okay. I stayed wholesome for a year and a half. And then, when I discovered furries and it was at an adoption, role-play adoption centers. And I'm like, do I want to be adopted? Or do I, how do I, do I adopt? I always hanged out. I just really was there for the hangout. And
I've never actually...
I did...
Oh, sorry. I've never actually shopped on I have no idea what IMVU even is, so yeah.
IMVU is like the Second Life, but instead of you freely going between stuff, you purchase furniture products that has spots on them, and you click the spots, and they either have a pre-animated animation for you already, so you're either sitting down, or you're riding a bike, or you're on a treadmill. Treadmill. Some of them are dance poses, so you just put it randomly in your room, and then you click the dot, and your character starts dancing, or whatever. And then if there are some cute duo couples, or dancing dance floors, where if there's two people that want to romantically dance or groove together, you click on the fellow dots and do an emotion to each other, so that
sounds like The Sims for some reason. I don't know why. I'm thinking of The Sims.
I would describe it as Sims, but just very but it instead of your character walking to it, it's instantly you click the dot and they do it. They do the activity straight away, but they don't have a hunger bar, of course.
But anyway, so what was your first commission of your character? What would you say when you fully established your character in an art form?
Okay, so our form we're excluding print screening here, of course. So after breaking up with some, families that fell apart, wasn't caused by me. Just internal struggles, drama, all that role playing bullshit. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So I went online to So Furry, and they have this little page called Commission Me, or a request a commission, or put yourself up as a artist see the market, to see who you wish to commission or who was up and available. So I put down, hey, I'm new to this whole thing. I thought about it very hard. Like, it'd probably take me about a week, so to speak, on just reminiscing what I want. And I said, I want to be an Eastern Dragon. Do I want to be muscular? Sure, but I do want to be very young appearing. Because, back then it was like, what, I was 17, 18? Oh, no, 18, 19, somewhere there.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know what? I want to be different, but I don't want to stand out. Have I always been a standout all my life? Sure, but I don't want to be too out there, Like, I want to blend in, but...
Yeah. But everyone, the thing is, I don't believe that everybody can blend in. Like, in my opinion, like, your design is what you want. And
exactly.
Sometimes your idea of like a common design might stand out more than others, but but ultimately it's up to people's imagination of what they want their character to be like. So, like I said, I don't think people should be restricted based on like standing out versus blending in. I think just make whatever you want. If you stand out, that's good. If not, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I had a big backstory. Not saying that, like, originally Kato had a right arm tattoo that would grow over time, describing his story, so to speak. Realized it was just too over time wise. It just got the design kept getting messed up, even though I put references on and a copy paste template of the tattoo markings. But
yeah, I'm actually looking them up right now, and like sometimes artists will charge more based on complex designs, because if there's something like that, I don't know if some artists will actually not like it, so I don't know.
Well, it's not like they don't like it. It's just mainly it's mainly to set. People forget it's not just to satisfy others around you. It's to satisfy yourself, right? And if artists keep changing the way it looks or have their own designs, that's the part that kind of annoys me the most. So I was like, enough is, like, no one enjoys making New Zealander tattoos. Only New Zealanders or Maori tattoos, like they're the ones enjoying it. So I kind of get, like, over time I'm like, well, I phased out the tattoo part, but I think the least amount of effort they can put in, the more details the other little small details they can put in, such as like scales or the line scales or nose bridge or whiskers, the other details that they can notice.
Yeah. So eventually, sorry.
So eventually, over time, originally Kato's early designs did not involve whiskers, and I realized, oh shit, fuck, I forgot about an Eastern Dragon without a whiskers. But then, you know what? I'm like, you know what? I replaced the tattoos with the whiskers, and eventually, over time wise, I did grow a beard and very long hair. So now Kato has a beard and very long whiskers and hair.
Well, I'm the opposite. I'm kind of losing my hair, so that's why my character's always bald. But he's even though some people say that, like, he's a scale. My character's a scaly automatically because he's a dragon. Well, I just realized not too long ago. I feel bad, but over the time I realized my character's not scaly.
Is he smooth like a shark?
Sort of. That's what I was actually about to say. That he's got some elements of a shark, like in terms of his skin. He's like a smooth skin. It's like it's a tough skin because he's a dragon. His outer layer is like really like you can't really puncture it that easily at all. But it's but it's more like a smooth skin because I realized that the commissions I've had of him, some artists would like to make him really shiny. And I realized he's kind of polished. So
yeah, exactly. So that's the beauty about our commissions these days. It's just like you have a simple design ref sheet, and it can be interpreted between smooth, easy to draw, or as detailed as being scaly patches here and there. That's what I like about our design. But if you like to be smooth skin like a fish, then that's your preference.
No,
I'm
thinking of sorry to interrupt. I'm thinking about Fallout every time you say that, smooth skin. Hey, smooth skin, what are you doing in here? I'm thinking about that. But the good thing about smooth skins is that my character's easier to cuddle. If I try to cuddle with somebody else and I had regular scales, God, like their whole entire body will turn red from how much the scales are rubbing against their skin, scratching it up. Ow!
Have you ever interacted with a snake or like a lizard?
No, actually, I have not touched a snake or a lizard.
To be honest, scales on those creatures, they're actually smooth. It's like they shed their skin all at once. It's actually like the illusion is great. Like it's not really a rough per se. It's deceptively smooth, like smooth as normal skin. It's just scales because they're all finely compacted. It's not like dragon scale. You look at every single movie, like from Game of Thrones to Aragon to Lord of the Rings, like their scales aren't. They may look intimidating, but they're honestly soft. Like it's like leather almost.
Yeah.
Just with a fine bumps and whatnot. But like for me, like with my Eastern Dragon, I know they got fur, and I wanted to be furry, but I didn't want to be all fur. So I thought, Eastern Dragons kind of got best of both worlds, and you can also draw them as furry-bodied, all that type of jazz. But long story short, the simpler I made Kato, the more detailed he became over time.
That's interesting.
He could either become very scaly, very detailed, or he can be very brutish and rough looking as possible. Honestly, like anyone can pick up the character and draw it as simple as possible or as detailed as possible. There's no harm in either. And that's why I got the inspiration of both Kelly and Joanna. They're just both simple characters to draw. Obviously, Kelly's the Rule 63, so obviously shares a lot of characteristics, and so more details were just put into the accessories, such as like a golden ring on her tail, little markings on her feet or bridge of the nose to stand out, but to not really feel like the artist needs to work extra harder for those markings or perfection marks, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, if you have any good references for your character after this interview, just give me some links. I'll put them in the description for the podcast. So if you ever are interested in seeing his character design, just click on the links. They're going to be safe for work, obviously. But if you ever want to see more, obviously you can just go on to, you have a fur affinity and all that stuff, right? So yeah, we'll give all those links to the description of the podcast if you ever want to click on them. But So let's go on to the next thing. So before we go on, you're also on Twitch, so that's kind of like a little shout out to you. So
and don't forget about Rugged. Rugged's also on Twitch.
I know everyone knows me. No, I'm kidding.
Not everyone.
I know, but Kato. I'm sorry, but Kato. So your Twitch name is KatoEasternDragon. So let's talk about our stream. So how long have you been streaming exactly?
Way before I created the modern day of KatoEasternDragon. So my previous Twitch name was called All Powerful Jono with 2 L's with full. So you can tell how long ago that was.
How long ago was it? Like, what year exactly do you think?
Let me see. Channel.
Well, you don't have to be accurate. I say, 10 years ago.
Pretty much, I made KatoEasternDragon on Twitch to be my full time Twitch. Usually, Twitch has a good way of saying, "Hey, this guy's this amount of years old." I think about 4, maybe 5 years now, so to speak. So very long time, but I haven't really gained too much within those years. I mean, I'm at the moment 900 followers on Twitch, and I appreciate every single one of them. Like, I don't stream to be big, but I stream just to make people happy. And if people are happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And that's the long and short of it. Like, if people are happy in my streams, I'm happy. But it's always nice to get to make hundreds of people happy rather than just a handful. Yeah. But you always appreciate what you got in front of you, and as long as they keep saying you're making my day, you make my days happier or whatever. You know what? That brings a smile to my face, and that what keeps me coming back to streams.
I agree.
That's the payment is good. I get it. Like, the donate, that everyone loves money. I get it. But I'll tell a bit of a story on Twitch. Remember when in 2019, late 2019, when the Australian fires were burning, right? And it was all over the news, and a lot of people, including American firefighter lives, lost their lives. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but one thing about that fire, did that actually affect you at all? Like, where you lived?
Very minimally compared to a lot of other places, but I live on the coast.
Okay,
and the fires did not affect me or my living skills whatsoever. There was no food shortages or droughts or anything like that. But for 2 to 5 nights or days, really, there was a blanket of ash over our city.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Where this was Wollongong, really. So Wollongong's a very coastal city down south from Sydney, and it just covered the whole entire city with ash. I have videos of it too, which I won't share unless we get enough people in the comment section requesting such a thing.
Yeah, but you could probably find a lot of that on YouTube anyway. There's probably tons of people going, "Look at this ash." It's probably because of all that wind, from the fire pushing all that stuff over.
but that's the thing about Wollongong, that our winds are from the sea, so they're pushing the ash. It's supposed to push the ash the opposite way, so not going to my town, pushing it away from my town. But since we didn't probably have too much wind or anything, the ashes and the soot was the air dryer just a bit, but it was it literally looked like a haunted ghost town. So if I had those 2 to 5 days moments of your town being covered in ashes or stuff like that, I can't imagine what those other people could have gone through. Losing your homes.
I would be scared too. If there was a fire going around in say New Jersey or something like that, I'd be like, oh gosh, I'd be walking back and forth, going what the hell? I
heard Florida has really bad bushfires as well. So
California was like that too. I think for a while as well, I believe.
But here's the thing. When I did my research about the fires, it was that winter had it was a very dry winter, So on the west coast, so Perth, or like the ocean between India and Australia, usually the winds from India would push some rain clouds down from the northwest. But because those clouds got caught up in a updraft or something like that, we had a very dry winter, like an awfully dry winter. And the Bureau is like, oh no. Oh, oh no, this is not good.
Now, I know it's still going off topic, but now correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember if I thought somebody said that. I thought a rumor was that the fire started in Australia. I thought someone said it, like started.
It's a bit of it, like, you know, with fires, it's a bit of everything, you know.
Oh, okay.
As I said, it was a dry winter, so that helped contribute to that bushfire. It could have been from one or two kids, or 2 or 5 kids all over Australia. You know, kids are kids, you know. Like you create a fire, it happens, you know. Kids are kids.
Yeah.
But because people were ill-informed about how dry that winter was, pretty much the philosophy in Australia is, do not, if you create a fire or like a campfire or anything like that, put it the fuck out. Like, bury it, please, and make sure the embers are all gone. Because if you don't do it, you know, it just takes one ember and a dry winter to cause that type of devastation and destruction. Yeah. And it also doesn't help that our greenie team in Australia, like, we have Labor, Liberal, and then next third popular party is the Greens, which they're like a bunch of hippies, you know, peace, you know, peace Wendy. But bunch of hippie, still horrible politicians, no offense.
Yeah.
But that, you know, vote whoever you want to vote, I don't care. But yeah, like they hate backburning. Like the one thing that saves properties is backburning. Firefighters do it so that when fires do exist, at least property or certain highways, you know, they don't, you know, cause this devastation to certain places. I looked at a video about 6 months ago of how bad these fires were spreading. It was a 5-minute video, and 2 minutes were them getting into their vehicles and getting out. The rest of the 3 minutes, you just see this, like, you see hints of a fire coming, and then 2 minutes, 2 minutes remaining was just the whole road was on fire. It was like a blazing inferno, and then at the 5th minute mark, it just looked like hell on earth.
Yeah, I've seen that video. I believe I know what you're talking about, because I remember it started off clear. Everyone's like, I don't know if it was a similar video or not, but I remember it was like, all right, everyone clear out. There's a fire coming in. As soon as they cleared out, like I said, like 2 minutes later, it went from like normal to like foggy, and then like a minute or two later after that, it was like, wow, instant.
Like you think that's a thing of movies or something like that, but
no, that was real. That was a real life the camera
video
footage.
Like, you know how movies always go like, oh, we gotta leave now. We gotta do this. We gotta, you know, do this urgently. And you're like, oh, bullshit that the fire can follow you or cover you up this quickly. But once you see it in real life and doing that type of shit, you'll think twice about how realistic those movies actually incorporate fires. Like, they're not, especially Australian fires, they're not that predictable. And the same thing goes with our rains. Like, our weather is unpredictable. Look, just this year we had severe flooding in Brisbane, and one of the reasons why is because they don't release their dams early enough. The Bureau keeps telling the dams, "Hey, look, you're in for a long haul of rain here. Release some of this water, mate, before you start flooding, you know, the towns." But because Brisbane always loves hoarding water because they always go into drought. Like, it's so hot up there, and humidity goes up, and, you know, so less less water in the lakes or dams and whatnot. But because they suffer from great rains and floods, it's the reason why Brisbane always has a risk of being flooded. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like, who's to blame? We can't. We don't know. But in my experience, I just think it's the dams are privately owned, and they don't want to go through droughty situations like that. They rather flood your town here, risk your lives, risk your property, than to no longer have dam support or water or whatever,
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna jump over to something else because anyway, you're talking to me about a different subject. You're talking about like what was your most underrated game that you enjoyed?
Okay.
So we're gonna be brief about this. So we're gonna name one game, and we're gonna briefly explain like what it is and why like you liked it. So
okay, cool.
You want me to go first? You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I think enough about me. Let's see you. Look, what is your most underrated game? Let's keep this a bit simpler. Like nothing but below the year 2000. So the last 20 years.
Last 20 years? Well, mine was close to that. Mine was like released in 1999.
Okay, that's close enough. Okay.
So, one underrated game, I'll briefly describe it, just one. It was just called Castlevania for Nintendo 64.
Are you sure that's underrated, though?
I'd say it's underrated because a lot of people don't talk about it. Not many people talk about the game. They don't praise it. You don't often hear about it in history or whatever. Everyone's like, oh, Castlevania, we all remember Castlevania 1, 3, Lords of Shadow, Super Castlevania. No one ever says, oh, I like Castlevania for Nintendo 64. Nobody. I rented that game and eventually bought it because it was dirt cheap after a while. I just love the atmosphere. It was like you go through a forest, the castle, like there's a haunted villa inside of it. And the game itself had an intense atmosphere. It actually was kind of like scary in some ways, but like also gave you a sense of dread, but also gave you a sense of adventure too. Now, it was challenging in the way of enemies, certain puzzles, and there was one specific one I'll get into later, but it's not perfect. It didn't age very well. The graphics are kind of very dated. The camera works against you. But but that one specific challenge, so in the middle of the game, there is a wall you have to destroy.
Okay.
You have to carry magical nitro. When you acquire it, it'll say, if you take one hit or you jump once, you're dead.
Oh, that's convenient, isn't it?
And you have to pretty much travel throughout the entire stage without getting hit or jumping. Or if you fell down, if you fall like an inch, you're dead.
So just curious though, can't you complete semi-complete the level, but then go backtrack to that potion or whatever, and then deposit whatever contents you need to?
Yeah,
deposit?
like once if you could deposit it, yeah, you can go back and save the game, so you don't have to do it again. That's the thing you need to do. But anyway, so Castlevania 4, yeah, I liked it. I played through it a bunch of times. I loved it. The music was great. The atmosphere was amazing. The challenge was good. I got used to the controls and all that because, I was a kid. If I didn't own many games, so, you have to... Sometimes, if you don't have many games, you just perfect your craft in a way. So,
yeah.
But yeah. So what was your underrated game that you liked? There's no restriction on year or anything like that.
No. Like we could spend like 30 minutes, an hour, or even the whole podcast just talking about games we randomly like. But that will make things a bit too easy and a bit too boring to some. But in my opinion, this is just my opinion, and the one that really stands out to me, there's two of them really, but one's getting a sequel, or one's getting like a third version of itself, and the other one is kind of like a mix between Gundams and mechs, which is... This one I reckon is just highly underrated because it needs people like you and me to advertise it. It's called Super Mecha Champions. It's a free-to-play battle royale game, I know once you hear Battle Royale, you're like, oh, no wonder it's so underrated because that's shit. Actually, to be honest, this game is honestly fantastic for what it is. Like, one, it's free to play, so therefore give it a look. It's all good. You got nothing to lose. Two, the second point is kind of like 50-50 on here, but it overwhelms you with a lot of free shit. This will give you a lot of tokens and like currencies that you go like, whoa, hang on, I only just joined for the second or third day and already you're giving me a free mecha, you're giving me a free skin or something. Whoa, slow down here, buddy. You know, it gets overwhelming in the first week. But originally it was released for a mobile, like for mobile games. Like it's designed for mobile games in mind.
This game actually didn't come out that long ago. It came out in March, actually, last year, right?
Yeah, the PC port came out in March.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like long story short of Super Mecha Champions is that instead of you always going, oh, I got to pick up one, I got to pick up the gun. Two, I got to find the ammo for it. Three, I got to put attachments on it to make it somewhat competent. Well, in this game, that's not how it works. Like, one, it has a good training ground, so you can see how much range or how the recoil works, or what's its special feature. It can range from like a riot shield, so you have like a shotgun, but you also have a riot shield, so you got extra protection. To an automatic shotgun or an tactical SMG, which it's kind of like an auto aim, but it'll only auto track in the small window, and in the small window, but very short range. So when it was first released, it was broken as hell. Like this square box was like, oh, so massive.
Yeah, a lot of games are like that nowadays. The release is all broken, but
but however, they nerfed it. It was fun while it lasted, but it's still a fun weapon. But anyway, so instead of getting the attachment system, yada yada yada, it actually goes from like a tier system of weapons. So let's say you get an AK or assault rifle, right? There's a C tier, which is the green tier. Like the green tier is like the weakest tier of it, and then you got the A tier, which is the blue, and then you've got you got the B tier, which is the blue, the purple tier, which is A, and only a select few weapons come in S ranked weapons or rainbow ranked. Or gold rank and rainbow rank. But, so, and the good thing about this game is that you don't have. There's an option where you can force it to swap the weapons around, but mainly by default, if you were to get an upgraded version of your weapon, your character automatically chucks out that shitty weapon and replaces it with this higher tiered weapon. If that makes sense.
So basically, it's just a battle royale and. I don't know, but it came out in Hong Kong, I believe. I hope there's no stolen.
Hong Kong.
I hope it's not.
No.
I hope they're not.
Okay.
It's so I looked it up. It said it's Hong Kong NetEast Interactive Entertainment Limited.
Yeah. So you know how Gundams were. Gundams are coming out now. Like that new game that's coming out, right? Super Mecha Champions actually get artists who drew Gundams for a living. So a lot of their latest mechs are officially artists who made Gundams, made Gundam like characters. So you can think about Super Mecha Champions like a battle royale with Gundams, but you have to defeat the Gundam first, and then you defeat the pilot. So it's kind of like resource management. You only focus on reload. There's no ammo system in here. As long as you focus on ammo management, or like reload management, or what do you call it? Reload tolerance or something like that. Like just making sure that you're always topped up before the fight. Position yourself well. Play to your mech's strength not their weakness. So if you got a big tanky mech, obviously you want to be up close and personal, pressure those weaker, fragile mechs and bash them to the ground. There are melee mechs in this game too. Very nice. It's very fun. There's sniper mechs. There's range, like a bullet storm. You know, you name it, it's got it, and it's got so many other pilots and lore behind it. Like, it makes sense. Like, this lore makes sense, you know? It blends reality into Gundams the way I like it. I just think that it's a very fantastic game. Is Gundam going to overshadow it? I mean, everyone knows what Gundams are, and, you know, just go with the flow with that. But I just think Super Mecha Champions is highly underrated, and I think I'm definitely going to make some more game reviews on my YouTube channel / Twitch. I stream this game on Twitch too.
Yeah.
And I just think, personally speaking, this game, like, one, it's free to play, and two, it doesn't forces you to play. It doesn't forces you to pay to win. You just have to get good at this game. That's it. It's
yeah.
Like, if you want the other mechas or something, you build towards it.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So, okay, very briefly, what would you say is a... Now, I think you also... I don't know if this is the second part of your question. What would you say is a high-quality, well-known game that you really liked? And I would have to say the first thing I've been thinking of when it comes to a high-quality game I really like to play was many years ago. It was called Bloodborne. You know that one, right?
I played all this. The only game I haven't played is Bloodborne.
Oh my god!
Because it's PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah,
but I have played Dark Souls Remastered and Dark Souls.
Very briefly,
and I currently have Elden Ring. Sorry to say, Tana. Great company. So,
very briefly, Bloodborne is more of a Victorian London setting. You know, chimneys. Yeah. You got those tricorn hats, leather jackets, all that. You basically go around the city and you kill monsters, but it's very like I said, Victorian styled. The music is the best in any Dark Souls game.
Yeah, is absolutely fun.
Listen to the soundtrack for a few tracks. Oh my god. And
FromSoft just knows how to make games feel like you're connected to the game and doesn't conflict with anything else. If they're going for a style of play or going for a style of music or theme, they stick it all together so well.
Yeah.
They don't diverge. Like, you know, it feels like the music is compete. This is why I also love Super Mecha Champions. The music makes you pumped up to play the game. Elden Ring, they pump you up to play whatever theme. You know, you got your Bloodborne is great for that medieval, Lovecraftian theme. Dark Souls is good for that medieval, angelic fights or, you know, sword and shield play. Elden Ring, oh my god. Oh,
well, in Bloodborne,
just can't do much wrong.
Bloodborne, however, you mentioned sword and shield. Bloodborne doesn't really have shields.
No, they don't.
The design of that game was basically offense. If you want to kill enemies, you gotta lash out at them, because if you get hit, you could recover your health by hitting them. But the other factor was your gun, your sidearm on your left hand.
That's your parry weapon.
Yeah, that's basically... So basically the game is teaching you to be aggressive, but also time your attacks correctly to parry the enemy and stun them. And that was your game. It was harder in some ways, but at the same time, it was more satisfying to actually kill some bosses. Oh, yeah. And just I don't understand these storylines for the games. I'm pretty sure, like, if I'm ever at work, just look up a whole like hours long like video about the lore. But like I said, long story short, excellent game. If you ever get a PlayStation 4, borrow it, whatever. If you can handle 30 FPS, because that's what the game's capped at. It looks gorgeous still. You will forget that that's 30 FPS after a while, because it's just, it's amazing. You will be smiling when you beat that game.
I'm personally waiting for it to be, like, it's going to be remade or, like, you know, remastered.
Probably, but maybe on PS5 only.
No, I don't want it to be.
I know, but
I need it to be on PC.
Yeah, I wish
think
too.
They really messed the mark with Demon Souls. When I saw Demon Souls being remade, I'm like, this is beautiful. Like the characters, the animations. I can't wait to play it. Only exclusive on PS5.
Because they know that FromSoft games will sell consoles, so that's why they're making Demon Souls for PS5. And if they remade Bloodborne, not remade it, remastered it on PS5, people are going to be buying those consoles. Tenfold.
I hate it. Sorry, okay. Like, sorry to say, console peasants. Mm-hmm. PC Master Race is just the way to go, in my opinion. I love adjusting, or if I say I'd rather have high frame rate, I'll sacrifice quality for more frames. Or if I feel like quality, I'll up the ante and make sure I tell my graphics card, hey, just less frame rates, more eye candy. This is why I love Elden Ring. You can play it as minimal performance but have the highest frame rate, and you can still enjoy it, or you can enjoy it with the max. It's just like Elden Ring's the perfect blend of all the Souls game, like from Bloodborne to Sekiro to Dark Souls, just everything that they learned in the past, including Demon Souls. They put it all into one game, Elden Ring. Holy shit, did they just and the release was perfect. They released the game in a playable state. Sure, there were some crashes here and there, but it wasn't like it was like constantly happening, unless you got like a really bad PC, and of course it's bound to happen.
So,
but compared to like Warhammer 3 that came out that year as well, literally on the same month. And Warhammer 3, Total War Warhammer 3 was just an absolute letdown, I heard, given I haven't played it. I had the game, but I haven't played it really because I just haven't really had time.
So the rumor, I've been looking up on about the PC version of Demon Souls. Now, everyone keeps spreading rumors. Recently, the people have been spreading false rumors. Some people suggesting that, it's coming to PC eventually, but that's what they said about Bloodborne 10 years ago.
Hey,
or almost 10 years ago, 7 or 6 years ago.
Hey, Activision, I'm still waiting for Crash Nitro Karts, or that CTR game to be released on PC. Where's my motherfucker? Where's my go-karts, motherfuckers? I want to play Crash Bandicoot on PC.
Now,
the PC.
I'll very lightly touch on this now that you reminded me. Now, I remember people saying Toys for Bob. There's the creators of Crash Bandicoot, right? And do they also do Spyro?
The remake. Let me see.
I can't remember if they did Spyro, but everyone's like, well, they're going to Call of Duty now, so they're not going to make any more Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. They're dead. I would not count on that. I don't understand why people are so hyped. I don't understand that.
It's here's the thing. It is the developers were Toys for Bob and Iron Galaxy as well, and the publishers Activision. So I remember Activision being a developer. They fucking did some great shit, and now they sit on their hands not doing it. Anyway, excuse my language again. But to be honest, it's just all about who pays, what's instant cash, instant satisfaction. It's no longer about putting quality behind games anymore. It's all about how can they make the maximum amount of profit in a game.
Well, it's kind of both because really. You look at Call of Duty, and not many developers can actually put a lot of detail in their games, right? Now, when you say Activision's all about the money, it's kind of one-sided. It's one-sided because they are a business. They want to make money, but they also have to give developers time to make their games. But now they're realizing that the time they're being given is not enough, considering the virus has also been spreading too, right? So that's why I'm more into Call of Duty, so I know this stuff more. That's why next year there's not going to be a Call of Duty.
I mean, thank goodness that take a break, for goodness. But another thing, here's the thing: Activision bought out Blizzard as well, and look how many we can discuss this for like absolute days or multiple episodes. But long story short, Activision was there. They changed the mentality of how their games or their developers are run. They no longer, in my opinion, they just no longer cared about the extreme quality. Black Ops Cold War, I'm sorry, that's the most shittiest of endings, except for the one ending, and you know which ending that is.
Well, I like the game. I like the end. I like the whole entire campaign. That campaign was amazing, in my opinion.
I think it was just like, see, I was the one that played World at War, the original World at War. That's where shit really. That's where my enjoyment of the game really started to come up. It wasn't just because of the zombies. Zombies was sprinkled on top, and then the Black Ops came out. The story made sense, and it felt like you're connected. When they started to go outside of Black Ops 2, and I get it, Modern Warfare 2 was also out by then too.
Yeah. That came out in 2009. World at War came out in 2008.
Yeah, but it was like World at War was just one, it was history. You learn more about history in those games than you did inside school life and whatnot.
You did. But
but
my opinion, this might be a hateful conversation. This might be a hateful opinion, but I hated the multiplayer for World at War. I hated it.
No, I agree. No, dude, I completely agree with that.
It was
the multiplayer system didn't make sense.
It was Call of Duty 4 with a World War II skin, but with less innovative perks. But they did have zombies, so whatever.
Hey, they found their niche. The niche for that market. They played to the strength of what they could do.
So
Black Ops,
let's get to the last topic, but I think we have to end this conversation soon because we've been rambling on for a while. You asked me about comfort. We talking about PC setups or something. So can you briefly readjust the question?
So my main topic, the main conversation piece that we're trying to head towards was mainly so. As much as we spend so much time and effort on our PCs, making our desktop monitors, etc., webcams, VR headsets, or sim racing, or pilot, if you're into that, I think the number one thing we forget as part of our PC makeup is the comfort levels that we try to put towards our environment, such as our desks, to suit the amount of room, your arm space. Because if you're a big guy, I'm a pretty big guy in real life. As much as I'm a furry, and mainly straight, but bi-leaning a little bit. The fact is, I'm actually a very big guy in real life. Not fat, just big. 6'4". I think about 285 pounds. 135 kilos. So I'm big, but I'm not fat big. Even though I can easily be fat big anyway. But yeah, I just think people are forgetting that that part of the budget has to come to. Do you believe that table to fit the PC on and your chair should be a high investment thing to include in your budget?
In my opinion, it depends on your budget. I work at Amazon, right? I get paid quite a bit. I have a nice racing chair. The desk is average, but it's sturdy enough, and everything just looks nice and neat. I got the nice height. My armrests are very padded, so I could simply rest most of my arm down. And I also watch videos on what kind of posture you should have too for certain chairs, because I was trying to
exactly.
See, but then there's other people who don't have jobs. They're still in school, or they're middle school or high school, and they don't have money.
And yeah, exactly.
And they have to rely on a folding chair and a big TV that's on top of a couple boxes, and they have that's basically what they have to do. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit I did use a folding chair before and did the same thing. I was folding chair. I got used to it. But now that I have a PC, have a nice small desk, and I like it. It's sturdy. It looks great. Cable management's good. It's pretty good. I could take a picture of it and be like, yeah, that's my setup. It's not the best, but hey, I like it.
But do you personally think that people undervalue, we see those show me your setup videos from like Linus Tech Tips or Jay's 2 Cents, etc. And, you just see bottles of Mountain Dew and Pepsi or Coke. But like excluding that type of environment. Oh, you know what? No, let's include it.
I think
because if you live like a pig or live in an environment where you're full of like junk, or I get it. Some people put towers and whatnot. Good on them. Make yourself feel happy for it. But because it's still food, like just because you love pizza, that doesn't mean you leave pizza boxes all over your room and just go, "Oh man, I'll clean that up next month."
My funny story. One of my relatives, my brother-in-law, he's like that. He will go on this computer and play Minecraft. Right. Sorry to call him out a little bit. And we came over one day and we were supposed to just sit down and relax, but I ended up having an extra activity where I had to clean up his desk. And my God, there were like 20 plus cans of Diet Coke all over or Diet Pepsi all over underneath the desk. We had to pick every single one of them up, papers, everything. And it's not because it's because of the way he was raised, right? The whole family was raised like that. You drink something, you put it down or it falls over and whatever. But I think he eventually got out of the habit. So it was easier. There was less to clean up once you kept the habit of making sure it doesn't fall down. And I'm like that too. I'm like that too. I'm not a neat freak. So this but if I see something on the floor and I'm looking at it, I'm going to be like, I'm picking that up. I'm not doing anything until I pick that up and throw it away.
So you're like one of those family rules where it's like you tipped it over, you crashed it, you're the one that's throwing it away, not it's like that garbage rule. Like you tip, you're the last one to put the something on the trash pile, but it fell over, therefore you have to throw the trash away. Is it that type of rule back in the day?
Something like that. Like I'm a nice guy, so sometimes if somebody doesn't throw something away or someone didn't take out the trash, I'll be like, man, no one else takes the trash around here, but then I end up doing it anyway. So, like I said, I'm not the most neat freak person. We're
not all neat freaks, but the environment around. But you do believe that the environment around when you play,
I do like organization, or some organization and some cleanliness here and there. Right? I don't. Because
it doesn't have to be perfect. If your bed's not done up, but at least your floors are clean, your wires are packed up and whatnot. That's fine. But in my opinion, back in my past, or I'll say right now, wise, I made a mess before I left to another state, and I left it in that state. And when I came back home, I'm like, my mood doesn't feel right. Why am I so sad? Why am I so disappointed? And I didn't really feel like I wanted to go on my PC at all and just be on my phone, be away from the mess. So this is kind of this comfort question is mainly directed towards a lot of people who struggle to fulfill their online wishes or dreams, whereas they want to stream but something's holding them back. My personal suggestion for those who are struggling with streaming or motivation is get up, do your the first thing you should do is just do up your bed. Start small, put some wires away, or sort out your whole room by putting it into sections cable. These are my cables. Yeah, that's my sound system. Or if your whole tables full of wires, just disconnect all the wires and everything, and cable management. Trust me, it may take an hour, but that's an hour making yourself feel better. Everything looks better. Your body, your mind starts to go, you know what? It's no longer for some reason just no longer seeing it or thinking about it. And you can freely walk around your room, and you have your VR headset. Guess what? You can play VR again without stepping on that bloody 1d4 dice in your room, or a Lego piece that you didn't refuse to clean up for the past 10 years.
Yeah, that's the one thing with my room as well, is that the room's bigger than I need it to be, but it's good because if I want to play VR, which I haven't done in so long, I haven't touched my VR headset in like almost like half a year, maybe more than that. But if I really wanted to, all I have to do is push my couch forward closer to my big TV. And then I have, I'd have roughly 10 by 10 feet or more than that, like 12 by 12 feet of like free space. I can just walk around, and that's really good. But yeah, and during this conversation, we're talking about dirty like PC setups or whatever. Like some people don't clean up. During this whole time, I was actually looking up images of dirty PC setups. Oh my god! There's one where it looks like somebody literally had like smoked a ton of cigarettes. All the cigarette butts are all over the freaking keyboard. Cans of Red Bull and other sodas. And it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. There are bottles of Powerade and water bottles without the caps on top of them, and they're full of what looks like urine.
Is the carpet? Is the floor carpet, or is it tiles, or is it wood?
I don't know. There's two images of it, but I can't see the carpet because there's so much stuff on it, including bowls of ramen. But yeah,
get your. I mean, I know we're furries, but weebs, please pick up after yourself. I don't care if you love.
Yeah, for some people, it's kind of sad, but some people, it's just like I said, would you say it's kind of like? Do you know how like people are hoarders? You know, they don't want to get rid of stuff. It's kind of like that, but like, yeah, it's some people just have it. It's like, what do you call it? It's a bad habit.
Exactly. Like even people that collect like Coca-Cola collections or like can collections or whatever soda collections.
Why?
but wait, hold on. But they at least sort their collection out or create a tower out of it or some like they keep it as neatly as possible. But for people who like have mountains of like cans or ramen or like seriously, just you like if you ever wonder why your life feels like it's turned upside down, your room is a good indication of how your life is going so far. So in my opinion, always start with your room. I know I sound like Jordan Peterson. Shout out to Jordan Peterson, great guy, and helped me like, you know, reflect on my life, right? But long story short is that just start with the smallest thing, and your room should be the first thing and the last thing you are ever doing in a day. So treat yourself, reward yourself by, hey, you wake up in the morning, and then you just mindlessly get out of bed, and all of a sudden your feet just go, wait, there's no ramen noodles, there's no brick or Lego piece that I'm standing on. Wow, I can actually go to the bathroom without even thinking about, oh, my feet are gonna get hurt if I step on this piece or tread carefully. No, your mind just goes, yeah, I can sleep a little bit further now and just have my body just go to the toilet and, you know, shit out last night's pizza, you know.
Yeah. So, I remember there was actually, this reminds me of a quote, but I remember there was somebody, I can't remember the exact quote, but there was a man that was talking about, it was, what was his name? Admiral William McRaven of the U.S. Navy Admiral. He says, if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. I think it's... Yep. Yeah, because you make it, it might seem like hard work, but when you get it done, you come back to it, you look at it, and you're like, yeah, I did that.
I did that.
And it looks great, and you feel good. And it does work. It
actually does work.
My bed actually is easier to make, because all I have on it is the, one sheet, pillow, and electric blanket. That's all I have. I'm simple. So
I would get rid of the electric blanket. I don't trust electric blankets.
I like it. It's so nice. But anyway, I just throw on the electric blanket, make sure it looks all nice and neat, hide the wires and all that, and I come back to it and I'm like, oh man, I like it. I love it. It's so simple, but it's so weird. I don't know. All right. So I think we've been talking for about an hour, over an hour now. So
only just an hour.
Yeah, but you know,
you got editing to do. I get it.
Probably not a lot of editing. I could just, if I'm lazy, I could just always make it explicit for some language. So yeah. Anywho,
we didn't talk too. Like, hopefully you enjoyed the conversation with me, mate. Like, hopefully, like, you know, as I said, like, honestly, I'm maybe an Aussie, but yeah. I'm not honestly, there was a little bit of rambling, but like next time if we ever do future like interviews, we can always research things first, figure out what we want to say, and just like bang, bing, bing, bang, boom. Bing, bang, I'm like that. See, I'm like that too. Yeah. It's like, what's your favorite game? Oh, this is my favorite game because of this and this, and that's it. Yeah, right? I'm very simple like that. But, like, you know, I just didn't know what type of podcast you really wanted to do. But, like, at the same time, like, you know, maybe when I get re-invited again, or if you want to say, have me on as a permanent guest, I won't mind. And we can just do some research together and make this into a weekly or daily sequence of Kato and Rugged being absolute pizza dergs.
Yeah, I know. We just need to dedicate an entire episode based on pizza, but I don't know. But in the future, I'm probably gonna get more people, more guests as well. I don't know about like, one-on-one conversations are good, but I don't know about like three people like conversations that might go a little crazy, but who knows? But anyway, so
it's up to you. This is your channel. This is your podcast. You determine what you want to do. I mean, like if you. Yeah, like one day I'll probably start doing similar things, or, you know, longer / shorter, or less, because I'm Australian, just let the tongue hit the floor, and who cares if you hears it? No minus allowed. No minus. No minus. But anyway. No, I had fun. That's for sure. And I hope you had a fun time. And
yep, I did. Like I said, I'll think of future episodes, and I might have different guests. I might have the same guests. Who knows? But yeah, it was interesting to have this little conversation. We're kind of like testing the waters in a way, because it's the first conversation piece I've ever did with somebody else during a podcast. So, you know, we had some interesting topics to talk about. So it's actually pretty good.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
I'm glad to be your first guest appearance, I suppose, if I am your first.
Yeah, you're my first.
Oh,
no, I didn't.
I got your cherry podcast. Yay!
Oh, the God! No, oh God, no! I feel dirty. All right, I better get going. Oh shoot! All right. Anyway, all right. Thanks for coming by. And
thank you, Rugged.
Yep.
Thank you, people who are watching this video. Thank you guys so much for coming and watching.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be back next week or probably a week after. No pressure on Rugged. And yeah, enjoy yourselves, and remember just to stay happy and accomplish. If you ever need anything, you can talk to us via the links down below. And yeah,
I'll definitely provide them. I got your stream and all that. So if they ever want to follow you and give you a follow, shout out, all that stuff, yeah, they'll find it within the podcast links and all that. So, yeah. Anywho, yeah, thanks for coming by.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
All right. See you later. Thank you. Alrighty, that is the end of the episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, we were testing the waters with the interview, so like I said, we rambled a lot, but you know, it'll all come together in the future time. So again, if you guys want to party up with me in a way with voice chat and all that, I'm thinking like Xbox and PC games. Party up, yeah, let's party up and stop some noobs. But anyway, if you ever want to be part of future episodes, let me know. Go on Discord, go on Twitter. My links are in the description. If you ever want to be part of it, just let me know what kind of topics we want to talk about. I know I repeated this beforehand, but hey, it's good to repeat it again so people know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Dergboi podcast. I will see you all next time. Take it easy, everybody.